Good morning. So, kind of change in the plan, in the usual planning. So the HRVP will deliver a short statement on the decision of the Council right now to launch the EU naval operation. It will be statement only. Questions you will be able to ask questions in the main press conference. And following the HRVP statement, General de Rousier will brief you on the technicalities of the operation on an off-the-record background briefing. So HRVP, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. We thought with the ministers it was right to give you the news immediately from my own words that the decision to launch the naval operation has just been taken. It is probably the first time the European Union takes the issue of migration so seriously in such a fast way, with, as you know, unanimity and unity. I would say this is a sign that the European Union is trying to turn the page. Less than 2 months ago, the European Council tasked us to prepare an operation in the Mediterranean to save lives, first of all, and disrupt the business model of human traffickers and smugglers. The operation is being launched today. The target, let me be very clear, the targets are not the migrants. The targets are those that are making money on their lives and too often on their debts. It is part of our effort to save lives. We will start implementing the first phase of the operation in the coming days. This covers information gathering and patrolling on the high seas to support the detection and monitoring of smuggling networks. Before moving to phase 2 and phase 3 of the operation, the Council will assess whether the conditions for transition beyond the first phase have been met. This doesn't mean a passive approach, but on the contrary, as you have seen in the last weeks, myself, together with all the ministers, we've been working both with our regional partners and the UN framework to make sure that this can happen in the most reasonable time we can foresee. But this is just one part of a bigger strategy. This is one part of the work we are doing. From the external affairs perspective, our work is focusing on what happens before men, women and children reach the Mediterranean shores. That's why I met the 5 foreign ministers of the Sahel countries just last week, in particular with a special focus on Niger and the region of Agadez. That's why we're working on the African Union, with the African Union on our summit in Malta later this year. And with the African countries in particular, we're working on economic opportunities, employment opportunities for the young people, and the control of the borders and international criminal organizations. We also work on an everyday basis on the root causes, namely poverty and crisis and conflicts, in particular Syria, in Yemen and in Libya, as well as with the UN agencies dealing with migrants and refugees in countries of transit. Let me say that the European Union is the first contributor to the IOM and the UNHCR, and they are still working in Libya to assist migrants and refugees, and we're working very closely with them in this respect. The naval operation will be conducted in partnership with our international partners, with countries and organizations. Let me thank all member states for their unanimous decision to launch the operation, in particular those that contribute to the operation from north, south, east and west of the European Union. That's also a way of being united, under the command of the operational commander, Admiral Credendino, and a particular thanks to General de Rousier that has been working in a fantastic way in these 2 months and that will answer to your technical question. Let me also say that this naval operation is part, as I said, of a broader external strategy on migration. External part of our work is effective only if it is in conjunction with an effective internal strategy. Because when these people knock on our door, these desperate people knock at our door, we cannot avoid the question on how to welcome them here in Europe. This is a question not for the foreign ministers only. I expect the European Council later this week to give an effective answer to this question. And with this, I leave you to the technical briefing, and I'll meet you around 4 o'clock this afternoon on all the rest of our work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will make a short break to allow the technicians to cut the on and pass on off the record, and the background briefing will be retransmitted in Brussels in the press room.